And I done did it again one more time, this time live from the living room because I'm putting my phone to charge. So it was really good, guys. Hopefully, you guys are doing great. Hopefully, you guys are doing amazing. You know me, I'm doing all right. Okay. I'm here to answer whatever questions you guys might have, any topics you guys want to talk about as far as web development. Again, it's a Q&A, so make sure you leave a message here in the chat so I could answer your questions. I could go in and, help you guys out. Okay, and also to give you a shout out for being here. Shout out to John Villafana for being here. What's up, Joe? He says, "What's going on, John? How's everything?" Like I always say, hopefully everything is good for you, and for everybody that's in here that's gonna pop up in the live stream or watch this on a replay. But yeah, man. Today is Tuesday, right? Yesterday we had an accountability meeting on CodingPhase.com. It was pretty cool, very productive. A lot of people are doing their projects. They're at the point where they're doing their portfolio, so I'm excited about that. Can't wait until they start going in and start applying to jobs. So in the next coming week, a couple of people is gonna be at that process of applying to jobs. Shout out to Cesar Jaramillo, who's already applying to jobs. Okay. Shout out to everybody in here. Parabellum says, sad to see courses leave coding phase because it's suddenly a separate product. Well, I mean, think about it like this, guys. You know, coding phase is really the platform to give you everything that has to do with getting a job, teaching you everything as far as programming, the whole process, right? Holding your whole, your hand through the whole process, right? But again, let's be honest, right? We also give a lot of value on coding phase, and at the end of the day, we have to also go in and create products that are outside of coding phase. But the cool thing is that if you're already a diamond member, you have access to it right now. Okay, it's just at a certain point in June 1st, the profitable developer course is going to be taken out of coding phase and going to be on its own website and its own platform. That way also too is, is really to stop the schemers, right? That's a course that should be sold for $1,000 or more. It's a lot of information in there, a lot of ways that you could actually make money, and people are gonna make money with it. Okay, but let's be honest with you, right? There's people that come in and be like, well, I'm just gonna sign up for a month and get courses that cost a lot of money. So at the end of the day, I have to go in certain courses like the profitable developer where I know you're gonna make money. I gotta go in and get a bag too, unfortunately, right? Um, we can't give the whole game for free, right? I'm trying to help as much as I can, but at the same time, I can't get taken advantage either, just because I'm a nice person. Let me see. He done did it again. Yes, we done did it again. Again, guys, if you guys have any topics, any questions, anything that you guys want to talk about, put it here in the chat. I will go answer your question and help you guys out. Let me see. Joseph says, Tuesday streetwear about to pass by. Gotta move my car. Street sweepers about to pass by. Hey, go ahead, go move your car, bro. I know how it is in New York. Where I live, there's no street sweepers. We we got to make sure our streets is clean ourselves. I mean, but there's no traffic, so it's like if the street's dirty, it's because we got it dirty. So that's the pros and cons of like living in the suburbs, which is good because then you don't have all that traffic, people throwing garbage and on the street. So we clean our own street. Um, Yes, Luis Masembo says, so the Diamond members right now will have access to that. Yes, the Profitable Developer course, all Diamond members, lifetime members have access to it. If you bought a lifetime membership, right, you also get access to it, to basically to the Profitable Developer course. Yeah. Graphic Ball says, Dímelo Manin, look thinner. Have you been getting in the gym? I'm just eating healthy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not eating nothing sweet. I'm not eating no soda with sugar, no, sugary drinks. I'm not buying strawberry coladas. I'm not buying, bacon, egg, and cheese, cinnamon raisin bagels. Like, no, we're not doing that no more. We taking care of ourselves. And as you can see, the clothes are starting to look big on me, but we about to buy some new clothes pretty soon. I just haven't had the time. But it's good. It's a good feeling, you know what I mean? When you look in the mirror, you're like, oh shit, like, yeah, your boy's back, right? And I didn't even know that I had gotten that big, bro. It's crazy. You start getting fat, you don't even notice it because you see yourself every day in the mirror. But when you go back, I was watching some of my live streams, some of my videos. Bro, my neck was like this, bro. You know what I mean? I was like, yo, that's crazy. Somebody should have came into me and said, pull me to the side. Yo, Joe, you're getting big, bro. One of you guys. That's how I know y'all don't love me like that. You know what I'm saying? One of you guys should have been a real one, be like, yo, Joe, you looking big, my guy. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. So I've been just, doing what I do, doing a little bike riding and stuff like that. So trying to keep myself healthy. I got kids, so I gotta live as long as, at least they adults, right? Minimum as a parent. Two Papa says, "Hi Joe, hope all is well. Will the profitable developer curriculum be updated over time, or will it be a set section of the curriculum?" Yes, to updates, one-time purchase, cover updates. Yes. So as new opportunities come in and different, strategies that come up, I'm gonna go in and update it and add different sections to it. Right now, we have the freelance section, right, which is freelancing online, freelancing on local businesses, right? Getting local clients. We have the digital products, right? How to sell digital products. We're talking about PDF files. We're talking about Shopify themes, WordPress themes, etc. Right? Anything that is a template that you could go in and use your skills as a developer that you can sell to others. I show you the whole strategy. I show you the right way of doing it. I give you the resources. I give you step by step what you have to do. I show you how to use a project management tool so you could go in and add every single step. Literally, you can't fuck up. Like, again, pardon my French. Like, you just really can't mess up. It's like I'm laying everything down for you so you could just go in. So not only am I showing you the strategy, but then I'm going in and I'm giving you the actual task. So I'm taking my time, going in, writing down task by task. Step one, this is what you got to do. Step two, step three, steps four. And then all you have to do is plug that into your favorite project management tool. Again, or to-do app, whatever you might be using. I recommend using Asana. Asana is free, and you could lay out all of your things that you have to do. And once you go through everything, I guarantee you're going to make money. Like that's again, I can't say I guarantee because if you don't do anything, like you get what I'm saying, you can't show up to me like, yeah, Joe, a year later, yeah, man, I ain't really do much, but can I get a refund because I ain't really make no. No, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. I know some people come up out of nowhere, it's like, yeah, Joe, but I thought if I just buy it, I make money. That's not how it works. You have to go in and do all the steps. Like I give you an example. So for again, I'm not going to give the whole game, but for freelancing, right? Um, let's say locally, there are steps that you have to do. You have to make sure you have a website. You have to make sure you set up retargeting ads. You have to make sure to be able to go to the right resources to reach out to the local businesses. How do you find local businesses, right? We break all of those things down. Then from there, how do you contact them? What do you have to do? What's the steps, right? And also too, how to use ads to go in and retarget people. If you send out an email to someone, somebody goes to your website where you have all of your services. If that person clicked on it, he's interested, right? Maybe he's not gonna be able to go in and say, well, let me go and call this guy and give him $1,000 right now. But what you do is you set up retargeting ads, right? That's the part where we're up to right now. I also added yesterday a new section to it, which is how to sell your own courses. And yes, you're probably thinking in your head, God damn it, Joe, you're going to have me selling courses now. Right? But the truth is, guys, that there's things that you know, right? And things that come with your work history and your life experience that someone else can use for their own benefit, right? I'll give you a great example. and this is like something that I talked about in the course. Let's say you know how to cook, right? I'm keeping it very basic, right? Let's say you know how to cook. You are a developer. You know how many developers are actually spending so much money right now buying, you know, Postmates, Uber Eats, etc., right? And it's because they really don't know how to cook. They really don't know how to eat well, right? Either. You see so many developers that have like boxes in their houses or drinking Red Bulls all day, right? What if you was to create a course that actually teaches people how to cook, how to eat well, right? How to actually, set up a routine for a workout, right? And again, it doesn't have to be for developers. It could be for remote workers. It could be for, somebody working at home. It could be somebody as a customer service. They don't know how to do this, right? Guess what? You could teach them that, okay? And you could go in and make some income with that. The goal is to use the skills that you have, your knowledge, your life experience, and everything that you've learned through codingphase.com or whatever platform you go to. And then from there, how do you monetize that? When people see me, they say, well, this guy, shit, all he does is just come here to you to talk shit. No, I do mad shit throughout the day. You just don't see everything that I do, right? But what I try to do is every skill that I learn, I monetize it, right? I have to make money every single day. Doesn't matter what it is, right? Um, one day I could go in and build an email, right, for a client. One day I could go in and build a WordPress theme for somebody. If I have to go in and build a full stack application, I will do that. If I have to use a CMS system, again, like WordPress or Shopify, I will do that. So I'm using all of the skills that I will basically do for someone full time at a job. Like if I worked at a, I don't know, tech startup, I would have to use, full stack development, right? Maybe PHP, maybe Node.js. Guess what? Those skills, I can come out here to the real world and provide that service not only just to one person, but provide it to hundreds, if not thousands of people. This is how you go in and you make the most money, right? A lot of times you see people that they be mad, and it's because they don't want to put in the work that some individuals are willing to put in the work for, right? Like someone go in and say, well, Joe, I don't want to go in and get clients. I don't want to go in and build my own company. I just want to get a job. Okay, great, that's you. But there's some individuals that's like, you know what? I'm willing to put in the extra work, right? Because a job might get me 80, $140,000, but me building my own business or building my own, I could actually get half a million, $1 million or more. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta have to put in the work, right? You're gonna have to go in and set the groundwork, set up the foundation to it. A lot of people don't like to do that, right? When you see me here, understand, before I even came to YouTube, I was already working as a developer since 2012, okay? So I came in and popped up in 2017. So I spent years working for companies before I even decided to pop up on YouTube and even share my story, because I always felt like it was weird to come in and be like, what am I doing? You know how some people pop up on YouTube and be like, well, I just got hired yesterday. In my head before, right? I couldn't even think of like showing up to YouTube and talk about development when I've never had done it. You get what I'm saying? I see people that don't even work as developers or even, even fucking have a year of experience, and they're giving advice and they're fucking doing tutorials and they're doing this and that, right? When I came up, right? There was guys like the new Boston, right? There was guys like Eli the computer guy, right? Eli the computer guy, fax machine guy. Shout out to Eli. I like to fuck with him, but he's actually like a dude that knows a lot, right? He's very knowledgeable, right? Chris Hawks, right, was another person that at the time I respected a lot. There's a lot of developers that was in here. Learn Code Academy, right? Which was before all of this. Um, damn, what's this guy's name? One of the guys that host the podcast, Syntax, that you guys know. Damn, what's his name? Not West Boss, the other guy. That's a guy that's been around for years. I used to watch his videos when I was like, building myself up as a developer, right? So those guys had knowledge, right? And had, experience. So for me to even pop up on YouTube, I had to come up with, with experience before I even put my face out there. You know what I'm saying? But nowadays, right? Really anybody could go in and do this in a sense, right? But you just got to carve out a niche, something that makes sense, right? Like shout out to my boy Kevin Mosley, right? Kevin, he's actually one of the students that came through codingphase.com. So he also now has his own platform where he providing service to people who are coming out of military and don't know what to do with their lives in a sense, right? They're like a little bit lost. They're like, okay, I used to work in the military, but now what? What do I do now? Right? Some of them are interested in tech. So guess what? He's able to go in and show them from his experience of how he got in tech and what are the things that has worked for him. Okay. So again, everyone here has their own, their own work history, their own life experience that you can help others. A lot of times people get this shit wrong about, you create a course. The problem is not about creating a course. The problem is if you're not getting people results. Okay. And there's so many people that go in and create a bullshit course, put some shit together and just go in and start selling it, right? That's what brings a bad name to the industry. Or when somebody comes in, runs an advertisement and charge somebody $5,000 for some random course that doesn't get no results, and there's a 30-day refund policy, and then what they do is they make a super long ass course that when you're doing the course, you're like, okay, I'm like 10% into it and it's already 2 months. You know what I'm saying? So now that's the catch. Make the course super long where the person doesn't even finish it, doesn't accomplish anything. And by that time, hey, it's the refund policy is over, right? That's the shit that brings a bad name to the industry. But definitely, that's one of the sections that we added to the Profitable Developer course because I think that it's very important that you guys understand how to do it and how to do it properly. I talk about the pros and cons, the things that I've learned over the years. Again, when people see me here and, the trolls and stuff like that, they think that just like I came up into this game like, yeah, I'm going to create a course. I'm going to create coding. I had no idea of that. Coding Phase was supposed to be a forum, a community. I wanted to do no courses or anything. My mom is a teacher. My dad is a teacher. You don't think that they've been trying to get me to become a teacher for years and I've been fighting that shit? I didn't want to teach nobody, right? But when I realized that people wanted me to teach them one-on-one, I did it for like 3-4 months. And then I'm like, okay, I got like, 80 people on a waiting list. I can't give an hour a day to 80 people, especially when people, people don't want to spend no money. It's like it wouldn't make no sense for me. So I go in, create the course, everything that I will teach you in person, I go in and basically lay it out in the courses and provide it to people and has gotten a lot of results for a lot of people. Right? Again, by the way, if you're looking to learn how to code, looking to get into the tech industry, check out Coding Phase. It don't cost you nothing to go to the website and check it out. But yeah, so it's something that's beneficial, right? The goal of the Profitable Developer course is to literally teach you how to monetize every single skill that you have as a developer, okay? Because there's people in here, again, like I said, some of you guys be like, I don't want to fucking create a course. But there's some of you guys that have knowledge. There's people that's watching this channel right now that might have 10 years, 15 years in the game, okay? Or maybe they have skills outside of coding, right, that can help other people. That's another big mistake that people do is they be like, well, I'm a developer, so I got to create a JavaScript course. No, there's a million JavaScript courses. What you do is you find a niche, something that's not being provided out there, and there's a demand for. Right now, let's say you're a ladies man. Let's say you're a player, right? You know how many developers is out there that can't even get no buns? Like, that's a fact, okay? There's dudes that, and I've seen this shit on a on a TikTok where dudes is talking about, man, it's so difficult to find a girl. A lot of the girls is out here, looking to get a guy, high value man, right? And they don't really have nothing going on in their lives, and it's hard to date girls. And guess what? That's a niche right there. let's say right now you gotta you gotta fucking I'm trying to keep this shit PG. But it's like I'm like stuttering, that shit's trying to come out. I'm like I'm holding it back so we could keep the live stream. But let's say you out here, you're international player in a sense, right? And you're a developer. How to I don't know what would be the name of it, but how to travel the world and blow backs out while working remotely. You know what I mean? Like, how to do damage in Philippines and Thailand and Colombia and keeping your job. You know what I'm saying? That right there is a niche. There's dude, yo, I got people even in the program. It's like, yo, Joe, I'm trying to learn to code. I'm trying to get out of here. I'm trying to go to Colombia. And then you're like, yeah, we know why, bro. we know what you're gonna do out there, right? But that's a niche right there. How do you travel the world? How do you go in and work remotely? How do you job stack? That's another niche that a lot of people haven't. Nobody has really put out. If you are job stacking right now, how do you go in and do that? Properly. You get what I'm saying? Those are things that people need, and there's a demand for it, and people are not supplying them. So yeah, so monetize your skills. Don't be stupid. You get what I'm saying? Don't be that person and be like, well, I'm not doing this. Bro, do the extra work. And like I said, in the course, I lay everything down for you so you could go in and take your time. You don't have to do everything in one shot. Like for example, like creating your profile for Fiverr, doing the research on how to, create a gig that will be profitable, right? I'll break everything down. I'll show you how to go in and look at examples, how to go in and take the things that work for other people and how you go implement it to yourself. One of the things too that I'm adding for the course is how do you create an ad that already works in another niche, right? A lot of times you see advertisement that you will click on, right? You be like you swiping through whatever, and then you see some shit that like, oh shit, it caught your interest, but it's some random shit that has nothing to do with something that you would do, right? For example, like let's say video editing, right? And you have a website where you're trying to get people to purchase your themes. That hook that person got where he's selling a video service or a video editing service, you can use that same hook and use that same script. Go on TikTok, find out what's the actual link, or on Facebook ads and look at the library, Facebook ads library, look at the video, take that same content, right? Put it inside of ChatGPT, the transcript. Tell ChatGPT, this is what my product is about. This is what the services I'm creating. Use this hook and create a script for me so I could go in and create an ad. Guess what? You basically took a winning ad strategy and created your own and basically, finesse your way to go in and create a successful ad. Okay? If it already works at a different niche, it's going to work for you. This is why I don't watch developers, right? I rarely watch anybody. I used to watch maybe Traverse Media, maybe Forrest Knight. I watch sometimes Theo, right? And Fireship. Shout out to Fireship, and and Chris Sean to see what the hell he's up to, right? See where he at, right? So shout out to Chris Sean. But other than that, I don't really watch like developer content because they can't really teach me anything, right? Most people, the things that I'm interested in, they don't teach it, right? So I have to go in and go to different niches. So I look at channels like small business owners, right? How do they go in and get clients, right? How do they go in and get those customers? Right? For example, I got this guy, I forgot his name, but it's a guy that he does power washing. But this guy, I've seen his journey. I've been watching him for like 3, 4 years. Now, am I gonna fucking open up a power washing business? No. But this guy is a hustler. This guy knows how to fucking go in and literally, provide a good service, but he has a bunch of different strategies to find local businesses that need his service to come in, clean up the driveway, clean up clean up the vans, this and that. How does that guy find a bunch of clients and constantly goes in and becomes busy And I'm telling you, I've seen this guy go in from freaking, having a little freaking power washer, right? To now having like a Raptor, having a big ass house, having a fucking, like he has like a multiple trucks that are for power washing. He has the legit shits, the shit that is actually a truck itself. It comes with the water, it has everything. So he could go to any location and clean up a car, a van, a truck, whatever it is. Now, most people, right? And this is what I've seen. I'm not trying to generalize, but most developers, they're not into this shit. They're so stuck in the click clack and the what's the new framework and this. That shit is gonna keep you in a job for the rest of your life. Okay? That should be 20 to 30% of what you actually consume as far as content, right? Everything else, you need to go in and pay attention to our entrepreneurs. You need to pay attention to small business owners, right? You need to pay attention to marketers and also to design. Okay, it could be architecture, it could be design, like web designers, UI, UX designers for mobile apps. When you go in and you follow those people, you start learning new things that you can go in and implement now as a developer if you want to go in and grow. Now, if you just want to be a code monkey, yeah, you just code all day until the day that, fucking robots is doing this shit. Okay? Like, you don't want to be that guy. You want to be the guy that is actually well-rounded. The beauty about where we at now with AI is that in reality, to be honest with you, you don't even have to be the best developer. That's it. Those days is over, right? You don't have to be like the most genius guy. In reality, you don't, right? And as time goes by, what's gonna matter is what you have right here, your ideas. Do you know and understand how all of these apps work? Do you understand how to market these apps? Do you understand how to do research? How to, how to find a problem and how to solve it? Okay. If you go in and all you do is spend your time in just coding, to be honest with you, that's coming to an end as far as a limit. Because the truth is that there's gonna be people, and I said this shit, it's so crazy. Like everything that I say comes true, right? I don't know if I'm the fucking oracle, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on in the universe. But damn near almost everything that I've said here, right, has became true. I said this shit in 2017, right? Coding is just a phase, is a part of what you have to do, but the important thing is solving the problem. You know, I've met so many people that they be like, well, I could solve algorithms. I could do this and that. I could fucking create raw SQL. From the beginning, I knew that that shit wasn't special, right? Because that's something that you go in and you put practice in, and you just go in and memorize, right? But knowing how businesses work and how all of these things plug in together, that's the most important thing. That's what's gonna help you shine out here, okay? Again, I talked about this in another video where I talked about how content editors and email developers might be the best people to transition in this new age of AI, because there are a lot of people who just focus on the technical side, but when you are a content editor, you're already conditioned to using tools to be able to accomplish what you need to do, right? There's a guy that right now goes in and is like, I got to use this thing, this UI to build this thing, to go and tell them to do this. And they're like confused. They don't know how to put it together, right? But a content editor that's been using CMS systems, that's been using Photoshop or been using another tool to go in and create things without having to build it by hand, right? That person has an easier transition into this new age of AI where they understand like, oh, I got to use this tool to create this, to do that. You get what I'm saying? Some people are having a hard time, and I'm seeing it. I'm seeing a lot of, even when you hear some of the videos of like people talking about vibe coding, right? I created a video about vibe coding, but my video is about you have to learn how to code to really do it the best way, right? But there's also a lot of videos about vibe coding where people are talking about how vibe coding doesn't work for them. That's bullshit, right? Vibe coding works, okay? Using AI works, right? I think 70%, 80% of my new startup that I'm building right now is done with AI, right? I'm using Lovable, I'm using Cursor, I'm using Gemini, right? Cursor with Gemini and Claude. I'm also using Chat GPT. I'm using a bunch of tools to expedite, my launch that I'm trying to launch this new app. But again, there's people that they don't even know how to put all that shit together. And what's interesting is that if you go in and you start paying attention to like AI, like and a lot of the AI content, some of the people that's building like really cool applications, they don't even know how to code. This is what I said years ago. I said, guys, when there's gonna come a point where the tools are gonna be so good that the people that's gonna be the rock stars are the people that have this. The people that do click clacking all day and never pay attention, never learned anything else. There's people that go in. It's like my mom used to say. Listen to this. This is an old saying my mom always used to say, right? When you go to a building, find out all the doors and exits that is inside of that building. There's people that go into a building and they go through the front door and they don't even know anything else about that building, right? Now, my mom used to say that to my older sister because my older sister had a routine. You know how there's people that just have a routine of how they do everything? So my mom would go in and leave my sister, my older sister, in her college, right? And it's funny. She went to LaGuardia College. I went to LaGuardia Community College too. It's a piece of shit school, right? It's what happens when you live in the hood. So my mom would drop her off in the corner, and my sister would be like, "Yo, why you leaving me here? I don't know what I don't know. I don't know how to get into the school. I need not that she didn't know how to get into, but she's like, yo, I need to go through this entrance to be able to show my ID to get into the school. And my mom used to always say like, yo, I don't understand how you don't pay attention to anything in the school, and you only know one entrance and one exit. You have no idea that there's a door right there, right in front of you. You have no idea that there's a door by over there by where you come in through the pool area and the gym area. There's another door by the basement. There's another door on the other building that connects to that building through the second floor. And my sister didn't even know how to get into any of them shit. She will go in, go around the whole building, go through the main entrance, and then that's how she will get in. She paid no attention to anything else that was happening in the fucking school, right? Shout out to my sister. Yo. I don't want to talk shit about her. But she's that type of person. Like, they have a routine, right? So there's people that go to a job and they only worry about what's in front of their desk. They give them the projects, they give them the task, and if they don't give them the project or give them the task, they don't do shit. They have no idea how to communicate with designers. They have no idea how to work with marketing team. How do they even come up with the projects and the ideas that's being passed down to them? They just go in and build, right? So what does that do to an individual? That's a one-trick pony. If there was a position for that person to go in and become project manager, he can't apply to that. If there was a position for him to go in and become CTO, he don't qualify for that, right? The CTO needs to know how every single thing as far as technology, and how everything connects and works with everything in the company. If you're just a one-trick pony and you're like, well, I'm a React developer, I'm a front-end developer, guys. I don't know anything about the back end. Well, you have to open up this product or whatever, this service called Figma. Well, I'm a front end developer, man. I don't really know anything about that. Hey, dummy, learn it. You working with it every single day. People in your company are using it every day. You should go in and pay attention to that. Now, man, I'm a front end developer guy. I want to know what's the new latest framework that came out for React and what's the new latest version. No, don't do like that. Don't be that person. You have to advance, and you have to understand the big picture because the click clacking is not as special as you might think. Shout out to everybody in here. Leave a question, leave a comment, leave a a question, right? Whatever. I'll go in the chat and we'll go in and start answering those. Let me see what else. Everyone says, I think it'd be cheaper. I just got a job. Learn to be a street sweeper. Yeah, man. Let me see. Baby Silk says, "Hi Joe, how does this work? I went through the code boot camp, but I'm still not getting it. What do you recommend I do? I graduated from a boot camp. I coming from a warehouse field, bro. Come to codingphase.com, bro. This is the website, codingphase.com. I got you, okay? Boot camps don't really go in and take their time to teach people. They don't break things down. Also, too, most boot camps they have a limited time that they go in and they basically shove everything in your face. If you didn't catch it, right, and you didn't learn it, that's not their job. They don't get paid to teach you. They get paid to show you, right? So if you don't get no results or you didn't learn anything, that's not their business. Their job was to go in and show you what it was. You know what I'm saying? It's like you go to a restaurant. Think of it like this: like boot camps are, in a sense, is like you go to McDonald's, right? They got a burger. Is it the best burger? No, but it's a burger. You know, it holds you down for at least an hour or two, so until you get home. You know what I'm saying? Now, do you like it or not? That's not their business. They're not in the business of making the best burger and making the most delicious burger. They're in the business of creating a burger and giving it to you. And once you take it, that's it. There isn't no, hey man, I'm missing some pickles. Hey man, you forgot my extra sauce. Hey man, I told you don't put no mayo. They're not in the business of giving you the best service, right? They're in the business of coming in, just giving you a burger and move on. We got to go to the next one, right? It's the same concept with boot camps. They go in, they teach you what they need to teach you. You caught it? Okay, cool. You didn't catch it? Oh, that's your problem now. You got to take your extra resources. You got to go in and do what you have to do, right? It's 3 months or sometimes 6 months, sometimes 9 months, and people still come out of there like, huh? Like like what? I've seen people. I don't want to talk shit, but I've seen people that go to a 9 month boot camp, pay $27,000, and then God bless them. Then they come to coding phase, which is the most hilarious shit, not knowing anything, and then they'd be like, "Yeah, man, you know, it's $300, bro." I'm like, bro, you didn't learn shit for $27,000. I'm gonna work with you for a whole year and actually teach you what you need to learn, right? Like at that point, I'll be like, yo, I can't help you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just be going for 9 months, spend $27,000, and then it's like now they worry about $300 where somebody's really gonna go in and hold their hand the whole process, right? Yo, people, sometimes I'll be like, yo, it'd be crazy, bro. The way that's one thing that I learned over time with like coding phase, right? And this is something that I talked about in the profitable developer course, right? There's different tiers of customers, right? Um, Sometimes, I'm very accessible. I created this thing not to make the most profit. It was literally to help people out, right? And see how I could help more people like me coming from the bottom and teach them this whole process, right? But I realized that a lot of you guys, it's not even the money is not the issue. It's a mentality. You gotta shift your mentality, right? Because if you go in and someone goes in and tells me, hey man, I went to a boot camp. I spent 9 months, and I asked them, do you know this? Do you know that? Do you know how to take a design, build it into a website? Can you show me some of the projects that you've done? And all of the stuff that they have, they're at I don't know, at a, you know, tutorial level of YouTube type shit, right? And I go like, okay, look, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna create a plan so you could go in, learn the skills. Every week, I'm gonna go over your projects. All the courses are there, laid out for you. Whatever you already know from the boot camp, take it. Whatever you don't know, whatever you don't know, take it. Whatever you do know, skip it. Right. From there, I'm gonna go in, help you with the projects, give you the projects. I'm gonna review your projects, and I'm gonna work with you until you actually learn this skill. Okay, and you actually ready to start applying to jobs. Right. So there's no limit. Right. I could go in and spend, a month. I could spend 6 months. I could spend a year working on you. Right. But we're gonna get you through it. Now, you go in and you explain that to somebody, and then the person goes in and says, yeah, but, 365. I'm like, bro, it's $1 a day. I'm working for you for a whole year. Yeah, but yeah, it's just yeah, bro. You spent $27,000 and you didn't learn shit, and they didn't care about you. They didn't care about you got results. They're not looking for a job for you. They're not going in helping you with your resume. Right now, go try to hit them up now. See if they answer your calls. Yeah, but and this is where sometimes people is the mindset, right? It's the mentality that they have that's holding them back, right? Um, and that's why I said in the course, I'm like, yo, there's different tiers, right? Because I give you a great example. So there's Mark Lou, right? Mark Lou, guy's been popular because he basically sold $1 million of his how you call this shit starter uh, starter kit to like create software as a service, right? Now the audience that he has, right, and the target audience that he has, he's not trying to help people. He's trying to go in and just give you a service. And it's like, hey, this is what I'm going to give you. This is the starter kit. It basically gives you everything that you need to get started and build some type of software as a service, right? Oh, you don't know how to code? Guess what? We got a course for you. And this is a course not for you to get a job, not for you to actually learn how to code, but for you to actually go in and just start building with my starter kit, right? Now, when you do that, right, you're basically creating a separation between the different tiers. The people that's trying to take that course, right, and take that starter kit, most of them already have good jobs. Most of them already have careers, right? And it's so much easier to go in. He don't have to go and tell the person. He don't even have to do a book a call with somebody and even talk to them. He's just, hey man, this is what I'm giving you, and it's $300. There's no discount. There's no nothing. That's what it costs, right? You want it, you want it. Guess what? But that's a different tier of customer. What I have to deal with is I have to help people out. So my audience is a lot of people is trying to do something better. And I knew that from the beginning. That's what I created this, right? But when you are trying to help somebody out, I give you an example. Somebody that comes in and says, well, Joe, I've been doing Uber for the last 6, 7 years, right? I have to go in and, in a sense, convince that person to do something good for themselves. I have to go in and explain to them, bro, that job, that Uber job that you're doing, you're you got a fucking $25,000 car, you're paying payments on it, right? You're paying gas money. Even though it looks like you're making a lot of money, you're making a little 65, $70,000, you're really making $30,000 a year. That's not something that you're gonna have a future with. Yeah, your boys, it's 365, bro. It's 365 to help you get the hell out of that hole that you're in. Because if you don't make a switch and you don't change that, you're gonna be there the next 5, 10 years until there's fucking Teslas that drive by themselves. And at that point, when you try to scramble, you be like, "Whoa! Now I want to learn how to code." Guess what? Everything's more harder now, right? And that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Like, you have to switch your mindset. You have to take risk, right? This morning I woke up, right? I woke up 4 o'clock in the morning. This is why I look a little bit tired. 4 o'clock in the morning, I jumped on trading, right? I'm trying different time frames. I'm trying 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm trying 7 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock. I'm trying 12. I'm trying 1, 2, right? See which one is the best schedule for me to go in and do trading every single day, right? But guess what? This morning I lost $900. Yeah. Now you go in and you tell somebody, hey man, you might lose $900 in one day. Some people, they lose their mind. Like, shit, I'm not doing that shit. Are you crazy? I'm not gonna spend $900. Guess what? I made the money back, right? I made the money back. But why would I go in and take the risk of losing $1,000? Right? It's very simple. I'm trying to master a skill that in the near future, I won't even have to do anything. Okay? Where I find my own, I already have my time frame where I need to do it, but I'm still in the process of figuring out, trying different things out, different strategies, right? But I'm willing to go and do that. Some people are not willing to go in and actually take risk. They're not willing. They're like, I'm not doing it. Yeah, but your life is the same shit that you've been doing for the last 10 years, and it's gonna be the same shit the next 10 years. Yeah, but it's $1, bro. It's $1 a day, bro. That shit sounds crazy to me. Because when I think about it, you know how many times I've spent money on buying advertisement courses? You know how many times I spend money paying for, like a master course, right? Where I go in and spend $6,000, $7,000 on basically on a course, right? And being able to be around other people and entrepreneurs that also have made a lot of money. So I'm like, I'm coming from the bottom. I'm broke. You know what I'm saying? Compared to this fucking people. But I'll pay $6,000, $7,000 to be around these individuals so I could pick their brain, right? Some people don't have that, don't understand it, and that's the problem that I see even with my niche. That's one of the things that I talked about in the profitable developer course, right? You have to be careful when you're picking niches, right? Again, I came into this thing with trying to help people out. I didn't have a plan. I didn't come up with a plan like, hey guys, this is how we're gonna make a profitable business, how I'm gonna fucking make the most money with coding. No, I just came in, hey, how can I just keep the lights on? Right? But when you build your business, you have to be careful with the audiences that you go in and you start, as far as creating your services. Because there's things that that in a sense, how can I say this? Like you want to create products and services for people that want it and need it, right? And that's what I've done, right? But at the same time, I've also had to be, in a sense, right? Even some of you guys might understand what I'm talking about. I gotta come in here and literally like explain to people, why would you want to have a better job? Why would you want to have a career over a job? Why would you want to build your own business? You could just work the same Uber. Shit, you could be a plumber. And somebody say, well, Joe, plumber is great. Plumber, you gotta be fucking cleaning shit. You gotta be fucking doing mad work. You come home, you gotta take 3 baths to fucking come home and get cleaned up. If you're doing roofing, those are jobs that pay. But now you're blowing your back out. You're getting injuries. You're getting this and that. Those are jobs that I wouldn't do, right? But there's people that be like, well, I'd rather do this. Instead of actually going in and investing into education, educate themselves. There's people that right now that make money with just being in front of a computer. To me, that concept always felt funny because I'm like, yo, people just making money in front of a computer? Like, how does that work? Right? Like I used to, again, I used to watch this lady called Lisa Irby. Go follow her. Go watch all her videos from 2008, 2009. That's who I was watching, right? And it always blew my mind. How does Lisa Irby work from her house? This is before pandemic, before it was cool to be working remotely. She had been doing that shit for almost 10 years. And to me, that shit blew my mind. How does she do that? Right? And, you know, I bought some services, some products from her, some services that she had at the time. I learned about affiliate marketing. I learned from other people too. And in the search of having to get away from having to work for someone for the rest of my life. Now, of course, when you become a developer, you still got to work for somebody. But it's much better than when you go in and you say, well, damn, man, I just made $300, $400 a day, right? It's much better to say that than when you come home and you come on a fucking, on the bus or on the train and you like, damn, man, after taxes, I got $70. I got $60. I gotta stretch this shit out for the whole week. I gotta buy some food, and somehow I still gotta pay for my cell phone. I mean, and that was back then. Now it's even more expensive than ever. So what I'm saying with that is like the mindset. Sometimes you gotta help somebody. To help somebody, you gotta switch their mindset, and that's the hardest part, right? So when you are creating products and services, I recommend stay away from anything that you have to go in and switch somebody's mindset. Because I can tell you it's the hardest shit, right? So I think it's very important that when you go in, you start creating your software as a service, your products, your digital products, right? Shit, you make a course, anything. Be careful when you go into a niche. You have to do your research, because in the future you're gonna be like, yo, this shit is hard, because not only do I have to go in, create a good product and a good service, but then I gotta go in and convince the person to do something good for them. It's hard. That shit is not easy, you know. Let me see, reading through here. So yeah, just your mindset, you gotta switch it up sometimes, man, and take risk. If you don't take risk, don't expect anything. If you don't plant the seed, don't expect no fruits. Shout out to my boy, one Syrian. I see him that he's planting a couple of crops in his backyard, a little homestead, right? But he's building. Guess what? He's already getting blueberries. He's already getting, a couple of, freaking vegetables and things like that. I got a couple of things in the backyard too. If I don't plant it, I don't get no fruits. Let me see. Reading through here. Da, da, da. I'm going to 5 years and so many people ask me to teach them. Yes. Yeah, everybody always asks you, like, yo, man, can you teach me? But then do they follow through? You know how many people, like, I bumped into, like, guys that's like fucking like, I remember I was in Miami one time, and I'm in parking lot, and I talking to this kid who is a parking lot attendant. Remember, I used to work as a parking lot attendant, so I'm telling the kid, I'm like, yo, bro, you a good, you're a good kid, right? Like, like, you giving good service here. You're friendly. You're fucking, good looking kid. You got a future ahead of you. Like, all you have to do is, go to this website. Look, I'll even give it to you for free. I do that shit all the time for people. People will be like, oh, damn, Joe, you give me shit for free. I go, if I see, like, if I could help you out and you could get in a better position, I'll do it. Right now, I can't do it for everybody because it just wouldn't make sense. But when I see a situation where I'm like, damn, this kid has potential. What is this kid doing here? I remember when I was like, 24 years old, right? And I know how it was to be in a dead end job like that, especially parking lot attending, where you're there like waiting for somebody to give you a tip and this and that. You gotta kiss ass all day, right? For me, I didn't even get tips. I used to work in a mall freaking parking lot. I used to be in there. You used to come in. You come in the car. Hi, sir. Can I get your ticket? Boom. You give me your ticket. Here's Joe. Clink, 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 clink. Snap it out. It's 678. Guy comes in. Boom. Gives me whatever, the fucking $10 freaking bill. I say, all right, sir. Have a good one. Take care. And I'm just there freezing my ass off with a fucking Amazon little fucking portable heater in the fucking cold. So I know how that shit is. And I'm telling this kid now in Miami, I'm like, yo, bro, look, here's my card. Send me an email. I'm going to go in and create you an account. And then from there, I'm going to help you out. You think the kid hit me up? He ain't hitting me up. There's motherfuckers that you could give them everything. They're not ready until they realize, until they hit rock bottom, until, life slaps them in the face. And, they have a kid, they have a baby mama, they have this, and that. Now they want to get their shit together. This is why when I was 24, life hit me. I'm like, yo, I'm fucking bold. I'm fucking living in my mom's house. I'm fucking over here, like, bringing girls to the crib. And I'm telling girls, like, yo, yeah, this is my house, da-da-da. And then when shorties is making noise, I'm like, yo, listen, my mom's sleeping over. She just came over. Yo, I used to be the fucking G, bro. Like, that shit just brought me back to memories. I was like, yo, I'm in there fucking going deep. You know what I mean? Putting shorties in a fucking Boston crab leg. You know what I mean? And I'm in there and shorty's, about to gush, right? Doing all type of crazy shit. And I'm like, yo, you gotta chill. My mom just came from upstate and She's staying over for a couple of days and she's staying in the next room. Mind you, I'm living in my mom's house. I'm in there like I don't even have a car. My mom had gotten a brand new Honda, right? Brand new Honda Accord. 2000 and what was it? 2012, 2011? Brand new Honda when they changed the body. And I was in there, boom, like this, leaning, driving like this, picking up shorties, like, yo, what up, da-da-da. Come through, boom, pick them up, back in the days, POF, MySpace, fucking Instagram, right? Doing damage. You know what you do when you're under 25, right? Living that single life, right? Bring shoulders to the crib, boom, boom, boom. And I'm there like, yeah, this is my house, da da da. Right now, I got some roommates and this, yo, mind you, it's my fucking mom's, bro. When you broke, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? So I'm there. That's when life hit me. I was like, I looked at myself in one day in the mirror, and I'm like, bro, you going bold, bro. You you ain't got $1 in your pocket. You gotta show up to this bullshit ass job. You went to a bullshit ass community college, right? And most of your friends, they're living already in apartments, living by themselves. Now, of course, most of my boys, they put in that work, if you know what I mean. So now I can't do that because I know those are my peoples, but they're in and out of jail. So I'm like, I never even been to jail. I don't want to do none of that shit. I got to do this shit the right way. Now, I looked at myself and say, okay, I got this bullshit job as IT worker now, right? Because I went to a community college that was going to prepare me. But I'm 24. I can't afford to get even a room in New York. I can't even get a room. I'm still living with my mom's, right? Life slaps the shit out of me. And I start thinking about this shit. I'm like, yo, bro, am I going to be here till 30? Am I going to be here? And at the time, I used to have a girlfriend called Christina. Shout out to Christina. Christina, my wife's nemesis, right? Right? Christina, shout out to her, right? She really put me on game. She had her car. She went to a 4-year school. She worked at GameStop part time, which was a fucking blessing too. I used to get free games. I used to go in there get the used games. I never had to pay for no games. Christina would come in, take care of the boy, and bring me video games. Like shit, I looked out, right? So now I'm in there, but I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, yo, this chick got all her shit together. I'm 24. I don't even got a fucking dime in my pocket. Like I'm living basically paycheck to paycheck to help my mom pay half of the fucking rent, and I can't even fucking move out by myself. I gotta get my shit together, right? And that's where I went in and I said, I went deep into this shit. I quit my bullshit fucking IT job. I said, this shit is not gonna take me nowhere. This shit is not gonna go nowhere. I'm gonna have to get a million fucking certificates and do a bunch of bullshit just to fucking work as an IT support. And maybe someday I could get into fucking cybersecurity and to fucking the cloud, which at the time was like the future. And I'm like, that's not what I wanna do. That's gonna put me back into a job for the rest of my life. I wanna learn skills that I could use, that, I could build a business with. I could go in and get a good job and I could grow with that job and I could continue going. And I quit my job and I just went in and fucking, here we are. You know what I'm saying? Fucking house with a big ass house, fucking, you know what I mean? Fucking nice ass floors, you know what I mean? Fucking big ass screen TVs, the fucking, the pool in the back, the Benz, the fucking two Benz, the fucking brand new Chevrolet, fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can dream. But you have to wake up. You have to go in and change that mindset. Because if not, then now you're doing the same shit. I got most of my friends that did not go in and listen to what I said at the time. Because I'm just like how I talk to you guys. I talk a lot of shit here for an hour, right? But this is how I used to sit down. We'll sit down, me and my friends, boom, boom, and I'll be talking about, yo, bro, wouldn't it be cool, man? In Florida, they have houses for $60,000, bro. I think we should go in and buy a crib, bro. We could do it. And my friend is there, bro, man. where we go get 60,000? Yo, you know anybody so we could go and get them? And I'm like, bro, now we could fucking work. We could go and do this and that. And my man's like, work, bro. I haven't worked since fucking 12th grade or some shit. I'm like, bro, but you have to work. Like, how long you gonna be here? Now, mind you, that same motherfucker now is still living in the basement of his mom's. Mind you, I got a wife, I got 4 kids, a wife, a house, a bunch of shit that I've been able to fucking accumulate and accomplish on my own. This motherfucker's still in the same spot. When I go back to Richwood, I go in, I'll be like, yo, I knock on the basement door. Yo, what up, son? I'm home. You know how it is like when you're in New Yorker, right? I'm like, yo, we home, kid. What's going on? Come outside. Homie comes out. Yo, what up, Joe? Man, I miss you. And I love him to death. But it's like, why is this dude still in his mom's house? He should be here. Right now, we should be fucking, you know, going in and be like, yo, let's take a trip to Miami. Why you guys don't see me with none of my friends? Are like, I could be here like chilling with all my friends. But then now I gotta pay for it. Why do I have to pay for it? Why do I have to take care of a grown man when they could have done the same shit that I did 10 years ago? You know, that's the shit that people they don't want to put in the work. And now you got to change their mindset. It's the hardest thing to do, bro. But when life slaps the shit out of them, right? When, God forbid, parents pass away, can't keep up with the fucking taxes of the home, and now you in there, you're like, damn, what do I do? Man, I guess I'm gonna have to sell the house. Now you sell your parents' house. Now you in there, because you don't got a good job. How you gonna maintain the taxes in New York? New York is expensive. You either gonna have to stay in the fucking basement and rent out the fucking building upstairs. So now you 40 something years old, right? I'm 37. So we got 3 years left. He's still in the basement, right? This is how I'll be telling you guys. If you don't go in and switch your mindset and change just a little bit, just try a little bit and take a risk with shit, right? You end up in the same place 10 years later. And if you don't go and try to do a change at some point, you'll be there 20 years and 30 years while everybody else passed you. You know, and it's really just about the mindset, man. But yeah, that's when I woke up. That's when I was like, yo, bro, I'm fucking 24 years old. I'm fucking going bald. You know what I mean? I don't even got a fucking crib. I got shorties coming to the crib and I'm telling me, shh, be quiet. You know, my mom just came over from upstate. Mind you, this is my mom's house, bro. That shit always fucking trips me out. I'm like, yo, how the fuck my game was sick, man? Like yo, one time I had a doctor in the crib, bro. Like, no cap. I had a chick that was a doctor, but then she kind of like peeped the game. Cause I would be like, yo, I only pick her up on certain dates. And that's like the dates when my mom comes home because my mom's a teacher. My mom come home and I get the car, I go pick her up. Bro, I had this fucking doctor chick, man. She peeped the whole game. She's like, yeah, man, I enjoy my time with you. Is damn, I forgot her name. She was like fucking Nigerian. Nigerian, but beautiful Nigerian, man. Shout out to the black woman. she was nice. But she could see through the bullshit. Shout out to black women. Black women could see through the bullshit. They're like, yeah, this motherfucker ain't got shit. He gonna give me a good time, but he ain't gonna do shit for me. This shorty was a fucking doctor. I don't even know how I picked her ass up, you know? She over here going to like fucking, how you call this shit? Like all of this shit. And I'm, when I think about that shit, I'm like, yo, but it's motherfuckers that finesse their way, you know? If I was a dirty motherfucker, I'll be like one of those dudes, be like, yeah, I'm do that like that. They'd be like, yeah, that's my way. Some women do that shit too, where women be like, all right, he got this, and that. Boom, next thing you know, now they knocked up. What happened to the plan B? Yeah, I don't think it worked. Nah, you just didn't take it, ma. Now she knock your ass up, right? But yeah, again, when life hits you hard and you realize some shit and you wake up and you're like, I shouldn't be here, bro. I should be here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I should be here fucking growing grapes with Joe. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do the fucking work, man. If not, you're gonna be in the same thing, man. Let me see, go to Phase Cooking, my bro. Hey, thanks for that. Yeah, but let me see. Henry says, yeah, but they promised me a job, fang, if I paid them 60K. Yeah, that's the boot camps, bro. Boot camps don't care. They'll go in, they'll sell your mother. They'll be like, yeah, man, don't worry, we'll get you and your mom's a job. You know what I'm saying? As long as you sign that contract, that deal is not with them no more. That's you and a bank. You know what I'm saying? You know how difficult it is to go back and forth with a bank. You be like, yeah, but I ain't learning. Sir, you signed this paper, you signed this contract, sir, because you never get to talk to the owner of the bank. Now you're talking to a customer service. Yeah, but I signed up to this thing. I was young. They told me I was gonna get a job. It was, $200,000 at Google, and I was supposed to make it to fame. Sir, I understand the situation, sir. Unfortunately, I can't really do anything for you. It's a customer service. It's a company's policy. Just to let you know, you're supposed to pay on the first, sir. Yeah, but I don't got $700. I'm not even making no money. Sir, it's gonna go on your credit and it's gonna go on your collection, sir. Now you're there, like, all right, if I don't pay this shit, I can't even rent the car, I can't rent the house, I can't. My life is fucked for the next 7 years because of this boot camp that signed me up to a loan. Dude, you know that voice? By the way, I used to do that shit too. Oh my God. I don't did every type of fucking bullshit job you could think of. I used to do fucking not customer service, but it was like surveys. I would be one of these fucking people that will call you to your house and they'll be like, how you doing, sir? This is Joe from Universal Surveys. I'm just calling you to see if you could just, answer a few questions about your phone service that you currently have. Yeah, I don't have no time right now. Listen, sir, don't worry. It's only 5 minutes. Okay, now I'll go in, boom, finagle my way because you gotta basically set up the surveys, but the person doesn't know this shit is like a 45-minute survey. So now, bro, I will be in there calling old people, right? And the old lady be like, son, I gotta go. I gotta go to church. I got a Sunday service, some shit. Ma'am, we 2 minutes away from finishing. Mind you, now it's 27 minutes later. Like, yeah. And it's like, yeah, I'm just in there like asking them fucking questions like, what do you like best? Do you like your T-Mobile, Nextel, Sprint, uh, fucking, what was the other one? Uh, Boost Mobile. Which service do you like more, ma'am? The lady's like, yo, well, I use AT&T and this, and that. I'm in there like, okay, man. This sounds great. So what would you rate your service for AT&T or whatever, right? And I'm just there fucking reading through this fucking screen, and I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm asking the questions and I'm tired. So I'm like in there, and the lady's like, yo, boo, boo, boo. Shit, man. One time I got in trouble because now that I think about this shit, yeah, I was mad unprofessional, bro, in that fucking survey job. One time I'm in the phone, right? And I'm talking to some chick from Arizona. And you know how that West Coast like vibe that women be having. It's like that Mexican, Americanized. I was like, and she sounded good. I was like, da da da, we talking, da da da. And mind you, and I was like, yo, you got a beautiful voice, man. You know that? And I'm asking for a survey. And we like halfway through, I'm like, yo, you have a beautiful voice. I'll be honest, I'm enjoying talking to you right now. Like you gave me my highlight of the day. Now Shorty's laughing, smiling, probably fucking, blushing in her house. And I'm there. So now I took like 5 minutes of me and her having a conversation. So what do you do? Da, da, da. And I'm giving her game, bro. You know what I mean? Shorty sounded bad. Then she sent me Then she sent me sent me her at the time. I think that was like what 2009. I think she sent me her MySpace or some shit, right? Shorty was bad, bro. It was bad. You know, I had to come outside. I can't be sharing these stories. Wifey started looking at me like, why are you always reminiscing on shit? So whatever. Shorty sent me the thing. Now, mind you, sometimes the supervisors open up the phones just to see who people are talking to. So now they come in, they give me a whole fucking story. They pull me to an office, did this and that. It's like, Joe, you have to be more professional. This is the our company here. This is our brand. You know, it's like, how can you be talking to people like it's just a regular conversation? Like this isn't a bar. I'm like, listen, I'm just trying to keep the person. I'm like, yo, now mind you, they're this close for firing me, right? At the time. I go in and I go like, listen, this was just my way to get her to go through the whole survey. We was already half an hour in. She was about to hang up. I had to come up with something to finish the survey. And then the guy goes like, good idea, but it's just try to keep it more professional, and also too, you don't need to get their personal information. Mind you, I already got the MySpace. We over here fucking sending pictures and all type of shit. Like I was like, yeah, we good. Like, shout out to her wherever she at. You know what I mean? Yeah, bro. I'm too real for this shit, bro. I'm too real. I'm a regular dude, man. I'm not trying to be out here, Nobody watching this shit be like, damn, Joe got stories on stories. I'm like, yeah, bro, like it's life. Same way how you got a story, you got things that you've been through. Yeah, man. Surveys days, bro. That shit is fucking hilarious. And but I wasn't even the only one. There was motherfuckers in that job, bro. Cause these are bullshit jobs, bro. At the time I used to smoke CIs, right? Just off the strength to get a break. And you know how it is. Most of these jobs, these bullshit jobs, it'll be like a bunch of Latinos and blacks. And when we go outside, boom, it's like, yeah, we're gonna go for a smoke break. We need 15. We go outside, chill, and it used to be in Times Square. It used to be on Times Square. So we used to go outside, chill, go smoke a CI. The homies used to be, blowing it down, fucking coming in there, fucking smelling like sour diesel, like crazy. I stopped smoking weed when I was like a little kid. By the time I was already out of high school, I didn't do that shit no more. But everybody in New York does that shit. So now you in there and you come in with that cloud, you know. You catching contact. I come in there looking extra chinky, like, yo, what's going on, my guys? Yeah, we back from lunch break. We had to do a little smoke break. Yo, that's one thing. That's the only thing that I love about bullshit jobs. It's the people. Tell me now, right? You work at a bullshit job, the people there are amazing, right? Like people that you could go in, hang out, you could build friendships, relationships. Yo, all the like office jobs that I've had, I'll be like, I don't want to talk to these people when I leave out of here. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so corny, a lot of them. But when I used to be working the bullshit jobs, shit, I was going to like fucking even like the parking lot attendant job that I used to go to. I used to go to that job just off the strength of just fucking hanging out with one of the co-workers. It's like, yo, we will be in there in the golf cart in the parking lot, bit 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 bit. You know what I mean? Fucking see a couple of shows like, yo, what up? Da da da. Where you guys going? You're going to building B? Yo, hop in. Like we got a Lambo or some shit. We in the golf cart. We in the golf cart like this, driving like you know what I mean, like driving like we fucking, like we in a Lambo, like we just picked up two shorties and they just going to the other side of the building. You know how it is when you work those bullshit jobs, man. They're fun. I'll be honest. It just don't pay. You know, if I could find a bullshit job with a couple of cool people, I would do a bullshit job. If it pays, shit, I'll do that shit because it is fun. You know. Melvin Wynn says, I didn't expect to live past 24. I still understand why women are running it. I still don't understand why women are running the world. Let me see. Parabellum says, I'm 23 now, but I would live to see 24 the way things. Live to see 24? Well, I live to see 20. Yeah, you're going to live to 24, bro. You're 23 years old. You're a little kid. You think you're an adult, bro. My mind changed when I was 24 going to 25. It's true what they say. It's 100% true. You sometimes you hear that shit where they say, well, the fucking what your fucking brain hasn't fully developed to like 25 or something like that. It's true, bro. I feel like when I went from 24 to 25, my mind completely changed. Cause I used to live in this little kid world of like, I still play video games. I still fucking, I was just happy by having some Jordans and going to the club on a fucking Friday. And, as long as I look fresh, I was like happy. And then once I like turned 24, going to 25, I was like, hold on, I gotta get my shit together, bro. Like this ain't it, bro. The Joe Smooth operator. Yeah, bro. I don't know. I was just trying. I was trying to like literally. I wasn't even trying to be fresh tonight. It was just like let me go in and get this person to go and fill this fucking survey out because you have to do at least like 15 of them a day. If not, you get in trouble. And you get in trouble and sometimes they'll be like, well, they also too had like bullshit competitions. Like this is the shit, yo. Anybody that's been in a bullshit job, you know what I'm talking about. You'll go in and do mad extra work, and they'll be like, "Hey guys, we're giving away not a podcast, a iPod. This is how old this shit is. We're giving away an iPod to the best fucking employee who this month, who goes in and fucking and does the most surveys." So you in there trying to do competition, you doing extra work that you're not even getting paid for a bullshit iPod that you could go and buy yourself. Like these bullshit jobs, like they know how to fucking keep you there, bro. They know how to condition your ass. You know what I mean? They're like, yeah, you conditioned to be working here, you know, and it's like, ay Dios mío. It's like that. I'm just getting flashbacks right now. Like when I was doing the parking lot attendant, um, my supervisor, that dude's been there since they opened the mall in like 1980 something, right? And I'll never forget this shit. He was a good guy from Costa Rica, pretty cool guy, but he was a supervisor, whatever. He's like, Joe, you're a smart kid. You know how to use a computer. Like you gotta say like older people come in, you know how to use a computer. Um, if my fault, guys. Yeah, the guy was like, yo, yeah, you know how to use a computer, Joe. If you stay here for, a couple of more years, if you do 5 years here, I think you could even have my position because I'm gonna retire soon. And I was just thinking in my head, I'm like, motherfucker, I'm not, I'm not fucking working in this fucking parking lot. You fucking making $20 an hour, bro. Like, I'm not staying here, bro. Like, I was just thinking in my head. I was like, of course, I wouldn't never say that to him. I'm just being nice. I'm like, nah, man. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Thank you for believing in me. And give. You got to give people what they want to hear. Always remember that. Right. So I go in like, yeah, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. Da da da. Um, but yeah, man. Like I'll be, I'll probably see if I could stay here for as long as I can. You know, yeah, but it's crazy, bro. Again, today this live stream is just for us to chill. We came in, answer some questions, give you guys some feedback, um, share a little bit, war stories from Joe. Let me see. I'm just reading through the comment section. I'm about to head out of here. I got an important call that I just received right now, so I gotta actually go in and call them back real quick. But I just want to read through the comments. Yeah, Melvin is like, yo, y'all roomies. Yeah, bro. Yo, that's fucking crazy. Like when I think about it, it's like, yo, I used to be telling shorties like, yo, yeah, man, I got some roommates. This is yo, that shit is wild. That shit is wild. What you would do to be with a woman? You'd be like, yo, those are my roommates. I remember one time my mom called was like, yo, you want me to bring you something to eat? And I'm like, yo, give me a second. I'm talking to Shorty. I'm like, can you give me a second? I go to the bathroom. I'm like, yo, mommy, don't come home yet. Give me 30 minutes. Don't come home yet. You know what I mean? Because I don't want people to know. I'm like, yo, I used to go to the extra length. We used to have like a couple of like family pictures. I go in, take them shit down, put them in a corner. Bro, you're 24 years old. You don't even have a fucking house. And you living with your mom's house. Get your shit together. That's when I knew. I was like, yo, I can't live like this, bro. I can't touch. I was like, yo, I can't touch 25 without a plan, bro. You know what I mean? And it's not, everything I accomplish is not much is compared to some other people. But for me, it's like, shit, I accomplished a lot. I'm happy where I'm at. And the opportunities that all of these things have, brought to me. And, also, too, you guys supporting me and supporting everything that I've been able to do. And trusting this random guy with a hat on, right? But shit, man, if I share this stories because I know there's somebody that's watching this that be like, damn, bro, you talking to me right now, Joe. Like, I'm in that situation, right? And I try to make it funny. I try to go in, throw little extra jokes, but it's a sad situation when you're an adult and you don't have your shit together yet. It's not a good feeling. So just take a risk on yourself, right? If you want, you could come to CodingPhase. You know me, I'm gonna help you out. I know your situation. I know what you're going through, right? Um, but if not, find something. I don't care if it's with me, but find something, bro. Get your shit together. You don't want to go and live in a situation where you're not really making bread like that, bro. Because right now, shit is hard, right? It was hard back then, but now it's extra hard. I mean, look right now, just me with my family, just on food alone, we spending like $1,500 a month just for food for the kids and stuff like that. $3,000 for, you know, fucking health insurance, you know, houses, mortgages like fucking $3,500, right? Then you have multiple cars, and this is shit. Before I eat a candy, I'm spending like $14,000, $15,000. You know what I'm saying? But it's a blessing, but at the same time, it's like something that you have to keep in mind. This is the things and responsibilities that you will have in the future if you want to be a stand-up guy, right? Now you could be a bum and put your kids in a fucking small ass apartment and be like, yeah, I'm just gonna fuck them. I'm just gonna put them in a small ass apartment, keep them here, get them to a bullshit ass school where there's fucking shootouts and people fucking all type of crazy shit. It's like, no, it's your kids. You want to give them a good lifestyle, give them something good. Goddamn, it's freaking bugs. So I share my story to somehow motivate somebody that's out there. It's like, hey, bro, I've been there. And if I was able to do it, you could do it too. It's freaking bug. What the hell? Anyways, guys, I'm going to see you guys later. It's your boy Joe back at it again. CodingPhase.com. I love you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. Like I said, go check out CodingPhase. Check out the Profitable Developer course if you are a Diamond member. If you want to pre-order it, you could go and pre-order it too. Get 75% off on that. And yeah, man, I'm going to see you guys later. All right, guys? Take care, man. Take care. Boop, 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 boop. I'll see you guys. Peace.